It's time now for the all-new Animal Health Forum, brought to you by Paws Dog Training and Canine Behavior Center and Lake Chatoog Animal Hospital. And now your hosts, Ed Abel and Dr. Hilty Burr.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Animal Pet Forum with Ed Abel from Paws Dog Training and Canine Behavior Center and Dr. Hilty Burr. Good morning, Doc.
Hey, we're going to have to change the name to Animal Pet Forum. You've got that in your head. It's actually Animal Health Forum, but that's okay.
I'll remember it eventually. After like the 30th show, we'll get it straight.
No problem.
Doc, we got a guest today, which
Yeah.
I'm really happy about. We've had her on the show before, Rayma Cook, her daughter Hannah, and her little dog Dex that we're training.
Hannah's actually here.
Yes, she is. She's here in the studio with us today.
Hey, Hannah.
And so is Dex. And we're going to have Rayma talk a little bit about an upcoming event that they have going, and a little bit about what Dr. Burr's got scheduled, because he's got a bunch of events, and we're going to... Doc, you want to go ahead and get into that, or do
No,
we want to...
I really want to make sure we acknowledge our sponsors, because I have a habit of sometimes of forgetting them, so I want to make sure we do that. Of course, our good folks in Blairsville, the Blairsville General Supply, they have that wonderful store that has animal products, animal food, and boutique, and I've yet to get by there, but I know it's really great because Ed tells me so, and please go out and support them, because they certainly do help us. And, of course, Lake Chatoog Animal Hospital, of course, the little jingle that comes on mentions that, and that's Cheyenne Spagola and Dr. Patterson and the whole crew there. We really appreciate their support. Wonderful veterinary hospital. I did find it. I'm kind of biased, but it is a great animal hospital, very well, has a lot of great equipment. And then, of course, your business. And then, so as far as the coming up events, let's talk about Rayma, what Rayma's up to, and then we'll get into those events.
Absolutely. Paws Working Dog Support Network has been training a dog named Dex for Hannah, Rayma's daughter, and they're here with us today in the studio. And I would like to get Rayma online right now, because, Rayma, tell us how this all came about, what the need is for the dog, what you see as a growing need in the community of juvenile diabetes, and then tell us what you guys got planned for a fundraiser for us.
Yeah, great.
All right. Thanks for having me today. Okay, so a little bit about our journey. We started our journey for a service dog for my daughter Hannah in 2019. And we acquired a dog through a wonderful breeder, and we knew we wanted to train him to smell blood sugar and help us with Hannah's diabetes care. And we came across your wonderful nonprofit and business as we were looking for training with Dex. And so I guess it makes sense to talk a little bit about why you would need a dog for diabetes care, and where the dog would provide service, and a little bit about maybe what we've been doing and then what we're planning to do. So with type 1 diabetes, you control all of the aspects essentially of blood sugar. So you are externally giving insulin to balance not only the needs for carbohydrates and other sugars that you eat, but also just day-to-day living. And so it can be very imperfect, and there can be a lot of aspects that can affect blood sugar. And unfortunately, as a part of that, you have what we call lows, or low blood sugar events. And those can be pretty scary.
Traumatic.
They don't feel well. And they can be life-threatening if you don't address it right away. And so for us, the biggest need for a service dog, and where Dex really makes a huge difference, and we're hoping even more so as he trains and continues to get better at this, but is that he essentially will alert to Hannah's low blood sugar events, making sure that she addresses it, or that I address it, or my husband addresses it, or somebody in the room makes sure that we address any low blood sugar, so she doesn't have an event where she passes out or has a seizure or other things that can happen pretty quickly, actually, as blood sugar drops.
Okay, so I know you have some technology, so how does this, can it kind of help people understand how Dex fits in with, I guess you use some type of sugar monitoring. Yeah.
We do. And I think everybody would be familiar with diabetes in terms of the idea of testing your blood on your finger and understanding where your blood sugar is. And we still do that in order to understand exactly where her numbers are and how to do our calculations. She also wears something called a continuous glucose monitor on her arm, and it's called a Dexcom, the one that she wears, and we named Dex after that.
Oh.
So that's where he came up with his name.
I didn't pick up on that. Should have.
Yeah, nobody. Well, you
makes
have to
sense.
be used to it, and Hannah came up with that. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah.
So she. So the Dexcom continuously reads her blood sugar and then sends via Bluetooth to her cell phone, and then that cell phone sends over to our cell phone so we can see her blood sugar kind of continuously. But it's wonderful technology, and we're super grateful for it and blessed to have such great technology, especially for overnights. But it's imperfect.
Okay.
And there are times when your Bluetooth doesn't work, your internet is out, or just the sensor doesn't work. Right. In addition to that, the sensor is about 10 minutes behind her actual blood sugar because it's reading what's called their interstitial fluid, which is just the fluid between your cells versus the actual blood. And so Dex fills the gap.
That's where the glucose is needed too, by the way. The interstitial fluid, that's where it does all the work.
Yeah, and so the continuous glucose monitors are great, but they can be behind 10 to 15 minutes just because of the nature of where they're reading it. But it's wonderful technology, but it's imperfect. And our goal is that Dex would serve as the gap, or the stopgap, if you will, between when technology isn't working perfectly, when maybe she's dropping fast and technology can't really tell us that, but he can smell the difference.
So Dex gives you more real-time glucose values, really, basically real-time.
Yes, he's going to be breathing in, and the scent that she's going to be exhaling, and that would be coming out of her pores. That only really happens to people when they are insulin dependent and have been given too much insulin in their body at that
Let's
time.
get into the training on that. Ed, why don't you give everybody an idea of the extent of the training, because I know there's got to be quite a bit to it, and the cost of that, and why we need people to support us, and that kind of thing.
There is, and the training is broken down into segments. The first segment that we work on is teaching the dog odor recognition. And if anybody goes to our website at pawsworkingdogs.org, they can actually see a video of Dex working using our scent stands, where we have odor from
different blood values, different
levels of
saliva,
where Hannah's blood sugar is.
Yeah,
below a certain
level. Is it
level.
saliva you're using?
We're using a wipe from her mouth, saliva.
Okay.
And then what we do is we're teaching the dog to alert onto that odor, and the response that we use is a sit-stay. After we have the dog doing odor recognition, the next step that we go to is the dog now has to start sniffing the child to get an idea if something is wrong, and then has to alert the child by sitting and pawing. But we take it a step further, that what if, and we'll use this as an example, Hannah will run out into the field and then pass out. Dex sniffs her, then can't get her up, comes and finds Rayma, and comes over. So we're at a phase in the stage of training right now where we're working on what we would call a recall refind, where when Dex alerts on Hannah, he tries to alert Hannah. If Hannah doesn't respond, he goes and he finds Rayma. And it's pretty impressive, because we were doing training yesterday and we had him go all the way to the other side of the house to get Rayma, who was pretending like she was doing something at the table.
Wow.
And Dex would go get her, and then she in turn would go back in and mark those behaviors. So that's the stage we're at right now. And obviously each session gets a little more complicated or difficult.
So Dex is about ready. Sounds like
he's about 6 months, six more months of training to go.
So how many months have you been training? Just to give
it's been almost a year.
A year. So what does that cost?
Well, nothing to our recipients.
Good.
We depend on underwriters and grants and donations to cover these dogs. These dogs can go anywhere from $15,000 all the way up to $35,000.
Right. I imagine a medical condition like this is closer to 35 than 15.
Sure, because there's a lot of time, and I think if you were to break Rayma's time, our time from the training element, it's a large amount. They do this every day that they're working with the dog, so it's not something to be taken lightly. It's a lot of work. We do it because we love what we do, and we couldn't do this if it wasn't for people who helped us through grants and donations.
Right.
And that leads us to we're getting ready.
Fundraiser. That's great.
Hannah's going to be doing a swim, and I'm going to let Rayma explain it because last year was such a success. So.
Yeah, we were so blessed with the support that we got from everybody, especially the community last year for Hannah's swim. And I think as you listen to Ed, you can kind of hear the evolution of what's gone on with Dex. Last year, around this time, we were trying to get him ready for his initial scent training. So we were looking to do a fundraiser, and Hannah wanted to raise enough money to do the stainless steel scent stands and boxes. And she was able to well exceed her goal of what she had at that point. And
I think her target was like $300 or something like that.
Yeah, I think initially she wanted to raise about $350. We thought it would be about $750 for the stands, and she ended up raising about $2,300, a little more than that, really.
Way to go!
Yeah, and we were just so overwhelmed by the support last year, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year. So last year we had a lot of support from our community, and we want to thank everybody for that, and especially our business partners who supported us and, have already pledged to support us again this year. Ridgeline Roofing in Hiawassee, who
What's
they
their phone
do a
number?
great job. You can reach Ashley or Drew at 706-896-ROOF, ROOF. And then
That's Ridgeline Roofing.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Aqua Tiki out of Hiawassee on the lake there, and you can reach them at 706-400-2069. And both of them supported us, and we're looking forward to them supporting us again this year on July 6th.
Yeah, that's really important that we get the sponsorship. Let's hold Rayma and Hannah over for the next half, and we'll talk some more.
We can talk about a little bit about what we've got coming up with Rayma and some other people that are participating in some other events Dr. Burr will have for us. So please come back, join us.
Welcome back to the Animal Health Forum. Once again, your hosts, Ed Abel and Dr. Hilty Burr.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We have a guest today, Rayma Cook, whose daughter Hannah and her dog Dex are going through our diabetes program. And we have Dex and Hannah here in the studio with us today.
I wonder if Hannah wants to say hi. You want to say hi, Hannah? Nope, not
she's a little bit on the shy side.
She's getting some good training. She's going to be our social media director soon.
Well, Rayma, you started the first half of the show. We were talking about the swim that you did last year and raising the money to help us get our scent stands. This year, we're trying to raise some money because the need for dogs, especially with diabetes, autism, mobility issues, as well as our service dogs for law enforcement and first responders, the need far outweighs what we're able to do. So we're in the process now of adding some kennels so we can bring in some young dogs so we can try to get a few more dogs pushed out. Would you go ahead and tell everybody about the upcoming event that you've got going on with Hannah, the dolphin?
Yeah, the dolphin.
The mermaid, really, I think is how she thinks of it. Last year we were just so blessed to have everybody come behind Hannah and help her raise money for PAWS. And I think it's wonderful that the scent stands and the boxes that she was able to help facilitate last year are now being used for law enforcement and for drug training and just helping as we continue to move forward. We want to do the same thing this year. So this year, Hannah's committed to raising money again as she swims Lake Chatuge, and she's looking for sponsors, both individual sponsors and business sponsors throughout the community who want to support her and PAWS and help us raise money for what a great opportunity it is for service dogs for autism, for type 1 diabetes.
So how far did
veterans.
she swim last year? Do you remember?
Yeah, she swam a little over 2,000 feet last year.
That's pretty good.
It was about a fourth of a mile.
Was that freestyle, breaststroke, butterfly, backstroke?
Combination. For about a quarter of it, she wore her mermaid tail.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what you would call that.
Gosh,
but
gonna be fun.
And I need to explain something.
Yeah.
We're not talking about an Olympic swimmer. We're not talking about a college swimmer. We're not talking about a high school swimmer. We are talking about a 9-year-old who got into water and swam so far out that Hudson, one of our trainers, and I looked at each other and said, God, we hope that she's that she can make it.
So
But
do you take off from the marina?
We actually are blessed enough to live right on
Okay.
Lake Chatoog, and so she's just going to go right from her home base there.
If people want to watch, is there any way they can watch?
Yeah, absolutely. We're right off of Ridgecrest Circle, off of 76. We're going to be at. It's going to go on July 6th. We're going to have her jump in the water around 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And we're going to try to divert some traffic there as the boats kind of come right out. We're right behind the Young Harris Water Sports.
Okay.
So we invite everybody to come out, and we'll be doing advertising on social media and on the website, and you can also sponsor Hannah. Typically, we do a sponsorship that's either a flat amount or you can sponsor her per foot that she swims. Last year, it was kind of fun. A lot of people sponsored her 5 cents a foot or 10 cents a foot, and she was able to raise a lot of money as she continued to push herself for even greater goals and raise money for such a great cause.
So I wonder, Hannah, you think you can go further than 2,000 feet this time? Do you think so? You going to tell everybody
Tell us.
how many feet you want to try to do?
I think she's looking at about a half a mile this
Half a
year.
mile.
I think
Wow.
she can
How
do
many-
it, and
how
I'm
many
going to be
feet
there
is that?
cheering
See,
her
half
on.
a mile. That's
What-
3,000. No, that's 2,500 feet, I guess.
One of the things that I want to bring up too, that Hannah does this swim because she knows how important, because she's a recipient of a dog. Rayma puts a lot of time and effort and talks to quite a few people because she sees the benefit both physically and psychologically. Our goal is to help as many people as possible. And the way that we're going to do that is get the community support. So the swim is a key thing that we do. But we have something else coming up on July 23rd that Dr. Burr, why don't you take us into that, because that's a real big event.
I really am very. I guess I'm hyped up. I guess about the part about sponsorships, and I think there's a lot of businesses in the area that could really get a lot of good, positive recognition for sponsoring what we're trying to do. So please contact the Worker. You can call me directly or call the radio station. But what Ed's referring to is an event we're putting on July 23rd. Again, this is for the Working Dog Support Network. And again, I think you've got a good taste of all the things that Ed's doing. And he's got many medical service dogs being provided to people who need post-traumatic stress disorder people, autistic people, also balance problems, and then of course he's doing some great work with the local law enforcement agencies that can't afford canine units. And so please think about this and let us know, because we really need your help. But this first event is one way you can help and have fun, and that's July 23rd. We're bringing in a fabulous performer. His name is Bobby Horton. It's being produced or put together by 212 Entertainment Production. Bobby is a multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, composer, producer, music historian, storyteller, and comedian. I think he's a comedian. He's not officially a comedian, but he's funny as you know what. He puts on a one-man show. He plays every instrument you can imagine. He's really most famous for the music, for composing and performing all the music in the Grammy-winning Ken Burns PBS documentary series. I think most people are aware of Ken Burns in his productions: Civil War, baseball, the National Park, the Roosevelt's Vietnam War, country music. I mean, these are just fantastic. And if you ever listen to that incredibly great music in the background, that's Bobby. And he's done other films. He's been performing for over 40 years. He's a professional musician. He's a must-see. And we're also going to be having it's called a Gournick. We're doing that because it's gourmet food and wine and all the fixings. Bobby does a performance of early American music. It's mainly during the Civil War times. And that's with you, if you're not aware of it. And Bobby, by the way, is a music historian, and there was a plethora of great compositions during that time. Of course, songs like Dixie, everybody's heard of, but Goober Peas, Join the Cavalry, Shenandoah, The Yellow Rose of Texas. These are just fantastic. I mean, these songs have survived the test of time. So contact us or 212 Entertainment, and you spell that out if you're looking on the internet, 212 Entertainment, or you know how to get a hold of Ed through Working Dog Support Network, the www.dogs, what is it? Dogs Working, what is it?
It's
Help me out,
workingdogs.org.
That's it. And then the phone number, I want to give them that, please.
706 716-9990. And Doc, if I may add too, they go on 212 or our website. They'll be able to purchase tickets for the event on July 23rd. That's a Friday evening.
Okay, I don't think it's up yet.
It will be. It will be by the time should be up here by the time the show is airing.
Fantastic.
The other thing, too, that I would like to just mention, that any businesses that might be interested in being supporters of this, they have got some great advertising benefits to becoming a sponsor to the 212 Entertainment and to Paws Working Dog Support Group fund event with Bobby Horton. So please check us out. Give us a call. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Rayma, I can't thank you enough for all that you do and what Hannah, and of course we owe Dex a big hug and a big biscuit, because not only is he a wonderful dog, but he's been sitting here the whole time. I think he's waiting to get on the air.
Now, he's a golden doodle, right?
He's a golden doodle.
Yeah,
yes.
Nice. Well, again, getting back to Bobby on those tickets, early admission. What I'm saying, these tickets, like the other concert we're having in July for the Celebration for Pets Foundation on July 23rd. Now that is a free event, but this event that we're having for
that's us. Or July 23rd.
I said that wrong. Oh, August 27th. I'm so sorry. August 27th is a free event that we're going to be talking about later. But the Bobby Horton is a first come first serve type thing. So I think it's going to sell out quick. So, and please, sponsorships are going to be very, very helpful. So normally we go to our Gmail and answer questions that have been sent in, and I did have one that was sent in, but we honestly don't have the time to go over it, do that, so I'm going to pass on it this time. So I just want to thank you for listening, and come back next week. And again, thank you very much, Rayma, for being with us.
Thank you, guys.